My wife Sheree likes to tell me that I'm a collector. I buy books, trading cards, action figures, records, etc. She says it's my nature to collect things, so therefore she calls me a collector. And maybe she's right. Or perhaps it's something different. Yesterday, she and I went to Phoenix, Oregon to attend a comic book show. I saw an ad for it on Facebook the day before and suggested that we check it out. She agreed, so off we went. The event itself was nothing spectacular. There was no cosplay, no special panels, no actors sneaking in to surprise fans. Nope. Just roughly 12 vendors, a couple of artists selling either their personal collections or items from their store. We made a lap about 3/4 away around the room before I was struck with something. There was a series of X-Men comics called The Fall of the Mutants that I've been wanting to find for some time, I said to my wife, who had stopped to look at an end cap display. Well, maybe you should ask, she suggested. So I did. I explained to the guy that the storyline was released somewhere around 1987 or 1988, and it was across the X-Men and the New Mutants. It actually also included X-Factor, but I had completely forgotten about that. He said he wasn't familiar with it, which is something I'm used to hearing, but if he had any, it would be in Uncanny X-Men. He pointed me in the right direction, so I began to look. Meanwhile, Cherie was looking at a box of comics next to me, and I heard her say something about Lady Death, a comic book series by Brian Pulido, and then pull a glossy covered comic from the box. Sure enough, it was the alabaster skinned, busty anti-hero herself. Cherie promptly put that in the purchase pile. I kept looking. And as I did, I was overwhelmed with memories. Memories of going to the comic shop in Fairbanks, Alaska with my brother Benjamin. Memories of raking leaves in the summertime and being paid 75 cents a bag, only to spend our earnings that day on comic books at Valley Center General Store on Chena Hot Springs Road in Alaska. I remember buying this, I said to Cherie as I pull an X-Men comic with the heroes Wolverine and Rogue on it. And then I found it. In all its 1980 print glory, Uncanny X-Men, The Fall of the Mutants. My eyes grew wide. I pulled it out of the box and it excitedly kept going. Another and another. Wow. This was incredible. In total, I was able to find 3 X-Men comics with that story arc. That is 3, which is the entire story arc for the X-Men. I thought about what Cherie calls me, a collector, and wonder if that was really what this is. We made a couple more purchases before finally leaving the show and agreeing to share a lunch. The titles firmly in hand consisted of Uncanny X-Men, Lady Death, The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all of which played a part of my youth. Walking to the Jeep to put my treasures away before lunch, I couldn't shake this question. Why am I buying these things? See, it's not only the comic books. I've also been buying action figures, trading cards, records, things that fall firmly in my youth. And while I can sit and think it has something to do with the desire to capture a bit of nostalgia, or perhaps I am unconsciously recognizing my own mortality as I age deeper into my 5th decade. Could be. I saw a video stating that older Gen Xers are retiring backwards, meaning they are retiring only to embrace the things that they loved to do as a child, playing Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, video games, collecting comics, etc. They are doing these things that brought them joy as a child. And this got me thinking, is this what I'm doing? Well, I'm not retired, but I am an empty nester. Does that have any implications on this? I don't think so. The timing's a little bit too convenient, and this feeling predates my boys leaving. If it's not retirement and it's not the empty nest, maybe it actually goes back further than that. Growing up, we were very independent. The whole latchkey thing applied to my siblings and I. There was a short time when my father would be home from work before we got home from school, but that didn't last very long. Instead, we would come home to a handwritten note with instructions on how to finish the dinner that my dad had prepped and a list of chores that he expected us to have completed by the time he and my mom came home. From an early age, like so many Gen Xers and elder millennials, we were expected to take care of things without the supervision of our parents. We spent time doing chores and being adult before we were even legally recognized as adults. And keep in mind, I'm not complaining. I don't begrudge my parents one bit. The truth was, and still is, it is difficult for a family to survive off of a single income. All of this brings me back to yesterday and the purchasing of these comic books. See, I'm wondering if retiring backwards is a misnomer. We aren't retiring backwards. We're trying to find the joy that we didn't get to fully experience as children. And maybe that means Cherie's word for it, collector, is a bit of a misnomer too. I'm not just accumulating things. I'm going back for something that I didn't get to finish.